The Grand Exchange is probably one of the most useful updates that has been ever implemented in the game. Many of us probably use it on a daily basis. On Reddit, mod Sukotto is looking for player feedback on some small improvements that they want to make to the Grand Exchange to be worked on a personal development day, similar to a game jam, but much shorter. There are 3 ideas that Sukotto came up with and is looking for player opinions to push these out. Idea number 1, quick shortcuts for in-progress offers. This would add a couple of shortcuts to the right-click menu of an active offer. They would mirror the percentage buttons on the edit offer screen, but with fewer clicks required. So this is pretty simple, straightforward, adding some of those functionalities you already have to right-click shortcuts. The second idea, which has 2 approaches to addressing, we'll talk about in a second, is to have customizable percentages, allowing the player to have different plus or minus percentages to be used instead of the current -20, -5, +5, or +20% buttons that are currently offered. The 2 options are Approach A, editable via the setting. This will introduce a settings dialog in the GE or introduce a new area in the game settings dialog where you can edit the percentages that are displayed. Approach B would be a customizable +X% button, either replacing the -20 or fitting next to it, depending on, in terms of what they can get away with interface space. There would be a -X% button. You'd be able to right click this button, change the value of X, and the same would apply to +X as well. This is how old school RuneScape Grand Exchange currently works with their percent button, where RS3's 20% button is. The third and final idea is a instant sell button. If you ever had a bunch of items you just wanted to get rid of for the best price you can, but you don't care what the price was, that's what this button would be for. Instead of setting a manual price, you'd click on this button and have your item matched against the highest available active buy offer. This matching would exclude buy offers that are currently paused due to hitting the buy limit, just like normal offers do. So the price you might get won't necessarily be the highest available offer, but it would be the highest offer usable at the time. Sukotto has 2 different approaches to this idea as well. Approach A, upon clicking the button, your item would almost immediately be sold. You wouldn't receive any feedback on the price that you might get until it was sold. There would be a confirmation dialog warning you about the dangers of this, but you could toggle it off. This method would result in the minimum amount of clicks required, but with the caveat that your valuable item could sell for 1 GP if you were very unlucky. Approach B would be an intermediate confirmation. Upon clicking the button, you would get a dialog that would tell you the price the game expects you would be able to insta-sell it for at that moment. It is possible that between this dialog displaying and you clicking the confirmation button that the offer may have already been fulfilled or have hit its buy limit. As such, once you confirm you are happy with that price, there would be around 10% leeway for which it would find a similar offer. And if that failed, the sell offer would fail and act like a normal offer does when it is cancelled. So those are your 3 ideas. So once again, idea 1 would be simply right-click quick shortcuts for in-progress offers. Idea 2, customizable percentages. And then idea 3, the insta-sell button. Important things to note, a couple of non-goals or things that this update or this project isn't trying to address is full transparency on all offers open. This is something that Sukotto would love to see, but it's not realistic in the scope of a single developer to work on as a personal project. The same goes for a way of seeing the history of completed offers for a particular item. And as far as an insta buy button goes, it seems like it would make sense considering they're making an insta sell button, but there are additional complications on the buy side of things that are not present on the sell side. The Grand Exchange works by removing an item or GP from you before sending any data to the Grand Exchange central server. There are some safeguards, so in case of an error you do not lose the item or GP, but it is done this way so if it fails catastrophically, item duplication is not possible through the Grand Exchange. The problem with insta-buy is if you don't know the price of the item before buying it, then how do they know the correct amount of GP to take from you first? Mod Sukotto said that they received a few suggestions on how this could be worked around and is quite feasible, but thinks it is best to revisit at a later date if the insta sell button is successful. So what is being asked of for the community is to give your opinion on whether you think these are good or bad ideas and your reasonings why if you can. Weigh each idea independently as it's not a case of picking the best one. If the community likes all 3, they would be doing all 3. In the case of ideas 2 and 3, where multiple approaches have been provided, if you like one idea over the other, please say which approach you would prefer, and again, why. While Sukotto appreciates there may be some other ideas you have for other areas of improvement around the Grand Exchange, the point of this post is to focus on these particular changes in these 3 ideas. Lastly, as a disclaimer, like any Game Jam project, it is entirely possible that the work done on this personal time project would never see a release in the live game, or may take a long time to appear in the game, or end up not even possible altogether. So anyways, I'll have a link to the Reddit post down in the description. Give Mod Sukotto your feedback, and hopefully we get to see some good improvements to the Grand Exchange. If you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. If you missed my previous video, it'll be on screen now. Check them out, head on over there, and I'll see you in a moment. If not, I'll see you with the next RuneScape news coverage video. Until then, I am out. Aloha.